Hey there guys, so there's this new game called Mind's Eye that was released a day or two ago, and after release it has gone on to get so much hate, with a lot of people calling it the worst game of 2025. So I decided to actually look into what exactly is Mind's Eye, and I have discovered a lot of interesting information that I haven't seen a lot of people speak about. The main points are Rockstar Games, Mind's Eye and Roblox. And how do all these three things link together? I'll go into detail about them, so I think it's best that I rather try focus on the information I have found rather than just jump on the hate train like everyone else. What is Mind's Eye? Mind's Eye is an action adventure game that was made by Builder Rocket Boy and published by IO Interactive. And yes, it's the same IO Interactive that made the Hitman and the Kane and Lynch games, which are both two of my favorite franchises, and Hitman itself has something to do with Mind's Eye as well. But the studio that made Mind's Eye is a lot more important than you would think. The big news is that Builder Rocket Boy is made up of former Rockstar devs, most notably Leslie Benzies, who used to be in charge of Rockstar North, with Rockstar North being considered the biggest studio, and Leslie Benzies has done extensive work with Rockstar, with him joining them even before they were called Rockstar North. And the other former Rockstar devs are Matthew Smith and Colin Entwistle, who are both co-founders of Builder Rocket Boy and have both done a lot of work on games made by Rockstar. And these are the people who essentially make up the main staff at Builder Rocket Boy. The other thing I want to speak about is that Mind's Eye is not Builder Rocket Boy's only title. They started working on something way before Mind's Eye, and it is called Everywhere, which is basically like Roblox, but for some reason looks a lot like Fortnite. Everywhere is a massive multiplayer online game and game platform with an integrated game creation system, and the game is basically fueled by user generated content, just like Roblox. And what Roblox is an online game platform and game creation system of where people can program and play games that they and other people have created. So Everywhere functions in more or less the same way, with Mind's Eye being a game said to have been created in Everywhere, being as some form of an example of what Everywhere can do. And Everywhere is still not out yet, so one could assume that it is still in development, and it started development as far back as 2016, which is ironically the year that Leslie Benzies left Rockstar, and with Colin Entwistle leaving Rockstar in 2014 and Matthew Smith leaving Rockstar in 2015. Mind's Eye looks to be in a really bad state, but it does look a little promising. But GTA clones have not had the best time as of late. Mind's Eye looks like a combination of Cyberpunk 2077, Saints Row 2022 and Watch Dogs Legion, and the combination looks like they took all the parts of the games that didn't work. So everything bad about Cyberpunk 2077, everything bad about Saints Row 2022, and the same case with Watch Dogs Legion. They had so many games they could have referenced, and they referenced the bad parts. I really don't understand how these people worked on so many Grand Theft Auto games, and yet the one thing they struggle with is making a GTA clone. The other thing that also got me with this game is the pricing. The game is rather cheap for a new AAA game. It costs almost as much as JDM Japanese Driftmaster, which is an indie game, and Mind's Eye was marketed as your usual PlayStation exclusive, but from what I have seen, people are calling them an indie developer, even though they have at least over 200 consistent employees, with some people saying they have or had close to 500 employees. And in 2024, Builder Rocket Boy laid off an undisclosed number of people, so it's anyone's guess as to how many employees they have now. I am not sure how to feel about Mind's Eye. I was never really interested in the game and ignored anything I saw or heard about the game. The game is said to be an episodic game, like Telltale's The Walking Dead and the Life is Strange games, of where more content is released over time rather than all at once. And with Mind's Eye, since it was published by IO Interactive, there is a supposed Hitman episode or DLC coming for the game, so at least that is something people have to look forward to. The sad part is that the game could have easily been good. Maybe if they had delayed the game and given their team more time, that would have been a good place to start, because people are saying the game looks and feels unfinished and that it runs horribly on the most powerful hardware, and I've seen a good amount of people playing it on PS5 and the PS5 Pro, and they say the game still looks and runs horrible. I think I've covered everything I could find. There isn't that much information out there about the game, and with everywhere, what we know is that it's still in development, and I have no idea what their plan is. Maybe they can fix it, or maybe they can't. I haven't heard a lot of bad things about the story. Quite a few people seem to like it, and maybe that's the game's only redeeming quality. Mind's Eye will need a lot of work, but we will see what happens. And with that, this is the Chilly Man signing off. I thank everyone for watching. Peace out.